The implications of elderly isolation, 5 strategies for safe independent living. Have you considered the vulnerabilities faced by elderly individuals living alone without adequate care? Falls, illness, and isolation pose significant risks. This video details 5 crucial strategies to ensure the safety, health, and well-being of elderly individuals living independently. Viewers are urged to watch until the end, as the 5th tip offers a particularly impactful solution. 1. Implement a daily inspection system. The case of Mary, a 74-year-old woman, starkly underscores the inherent dangers of solitary living without regular welfare checks. Her situation exemplifies a critical vulnerability faced by many elderly individuals: the potential for a debilitating incident, such as a fall, to go undetected for extended periods, leading to severe and potentially life-threatening consequences. The absence of timely intervention in such circumstances can result in significant physical injury, prolonged suffering, and even death. Therefore, the implementation of a daily welfare check system is not merely a suggestion, but a demonstrably necessary measure to mitigate these risks. Such a system offers the crucial capability of promptly identifying emergency situations, thereby minimizing the likelihood of irreversible harm and significantly reducing the incidence of mortality and serious injury amongst vulnerable elderly populations. The proactive identification of potential crises through regular monitoring represents a vital safeguard against the devastating consequences of prolonged isolation and unattended emergencies. Implement a buddy system. Connect with a friend, neighbor, or family member for daily check-ins via phone call, text message, or visual confirmation. Failure to respond triggers a welfare check or alert. Alternatively, utilize technology. Employ smart sensors or monitoring applications such as Snug or Life 360, which require daily status confirmation, generating alerts if unacknowledged. Certain sensors detect prolonged inactivity and automatically send notifications. Automated alerts. Motion sensor devices can detect prolonged inactivity. For example, a smart doorbell camera can alert family members to unusual absence from the home. Resistance to these systems stems from concerns about imposing on others and a desire to avoid perceived surveillance. 2. Emergency preparedness. Elderly individuals living alone are particularly vulnerable to a range of emergency situations that can have severe consequences. These situations may include falls resulting in incapacitation and an inability to summon assistance, power outages, or natural disasters leading to compromised access to essential resources such as food and medication, and critical medical events such as strokes or heart attacks. The potential for serious injury or even death in such circumstances is significantly heightened by the lack of immediate support readily available. Therefore, proactive preparedness is not merely advisable, but absolutely crucial for the safety and well-being of this vulnerable population. A well-defined emergency response plan, encompassing readily accessible contact information for emergency services and trusted individuals, a stocked emergency kit containing essential supplies, and prearranged support systems, dramatically increases the likelihood of survival and successful recovery following an emergency. Failing to implement such a plan constitutes a significant risk that can have life-altering or even fatal consequences. The assertive adoption of preventative measures is paramount in mitigating these risks and ensuring the continued safety and independence of elderly individuals living alone. Emergency preparedness for the elderly. A comprehensive guide, emergency kit. A well-stocked emergency kit is crucial for elderly individuals to survive power outages, natural disasters, or situations where they are unable to leave their home for an extended period. Essential items include a 3-day supply of food and water, at least a week's supply of essential medications, a flashlight with extra batteries, a portable phone charger to maintain communication, a list of important phone numbers, and copies of crucial documents such as insurance cards, medical records, and identification. Regularly inspect and replenish the kit to ensure all items remain functional. Emergency contact plan. Designate a primary contact person, a trusted family member or neighbor. Establish clear communication protocols. In an emergency, they should attempt contact via phone, text, or a monitoring app. If contact fails, they should proceed to a physical check-in. Implement a visible emergency signal, such as a specific object placed in a window, to indicate a need for assistance. Consider personal emergency response systems with emergency buttons for immediate signaling. Emergency drills and system checks. Instruct the elderly individual on appropriate responses to various scenarios. For example, if a fall occurs and they cannot stand, they should crawl to a phone or emergency button instead of attempting to stand immediately. Establish clear evacuation procedures in case of fire or gas leaks. Conduct a comprehensive review of the emergency kit every 6 months. Verify the primary contact's phone number. Test any alarm systems or monitoring devices to ensure functionality. Many fail to prepare due to a combination of factors. A prevalent attitude of complacency fosters the belief that personal disaster is unlikely. Furthermore, the perceived complexity of preparedness can be overwhelming, leading to inaction. Finally, the fear of confronting potential negative scenarios can induce anxiety and paralysis, hindering proactive measures. Do you possess an emergency kit? If not, assemble a basic kit immediately. Have you established an emergency communication plan? Contact a family member to discuss this plan without delay. Have you recently inspected your emergency equipment? If you have an alarm system, verify its functionality. 3. Home security and fraud prevention measures. The significance of safeguarding the home and preventing elder fraud cannot be overstated. Elderly individuals living alone represent a disproportionately vulnerable population targeted by criminals due to several key factors. Firstly, their physical limitations often restrict their ability to effectively defend themselves against physical threats or intrusions. Secondly, a lack of technological proficiency or access to information renders them susceptible to sophisticated scams and fraudulent schemes. This vulnerability is exacerbated by a tendency towards trusting individuals and a predisposition towards helpfulness, traits that are readily exploited by malicious actors. The consequences of such crimes extend beyond mere financial loss. They inflict significant emotional distress, erode feelings of security and independence, and can severely impact the victim's overall well-being. Therefore, proactive measures to enhance home security and educate the elderly about prevalent fraud tactics are not merely advisable, but absolutely essential to protect this vulnerable segment of the population. A multifaceted approach encompassing technological solutions, community support networks, and targeted educational initiatives is required to effectively mitigate the risks and ensure the safety and security of elderly individuals living independently. Elderly individuals living alone must implement robust safety measures to mitigate potential risks. These measures should encompass enhanced security systems, the adoption of safe practices, and the cultivation of supportive neighborhood relationships. Firstly, security system improvements are paramount. This necessitates the installation of high-quality security locks, including deadbolt locks and, ideally, biometric access systems. Windows and exterior doors must be rigorously inspected and reinforced to prevent forced entry. The strategic deployment of a comprehensive security camera system, coupled with a smart doorbell, provides crucial visual monitoring and recording capabilities, deterring potential intruders and enabling remote identification of visitors. A reliable, professionally installed alarm system, triggered by unauthorized entry, serves as an immediate alert mechanism, summoning emergency services if necessary. Secondly, the consistent practice of safe habits is essential. A strict policy of never opening the door to strangers, regardless of their claims, must be adhered to. Thorough identity verification should be undertaken before granting access. When away from the residence, measures should be taken to create the illusion of occupancy, such as requesting neighbors or family members to activate lights and electronic devices. The use of automated timers for lighting further enhances this deterrent. Furthermore, the safeguarding of personal information is critical. Avoid disclosing daily routines or personal details to unfamiliar individuals, and exercise caution regarding the dissemination of personal information on social media platforms. Finally, fostering positive relationships with trustworthy neighbors is a vital component of personal safety. Proactively building rapport with neighbors facilitates mutual support and assistance. Establishing a system of reciprocal observation and reporting of any suspicious activity within the vicinity provides an additional layer of security and promotes a safer living environment. This collaborative approach significantly enhances the overall safety and well-being of elderly individuals residing alone. Elderly individuals are disproportionately targeted by fraudulent schemes, particularly those perpetrated via telephone, email, and in-person solicitations. These scams exploit vulnerabilities and often leverage emotional manipulation to achieve their illicit goals. Telephone scams. Common tactics include impersonating family members, claiming a relative is in distress and requires immediate financial assistance. Fraudsters may also falsely identify themselves as law enforcement officials, court personnel, or bank representatives, threatening legal repercussions or financial penalties unless personal information or funds are provided. Another prevalent method involves notifying the victim of a substantial lottery win, contingent upon the advance payment of fees. To mitigate the risk of telephone scams, individuals should steadfastly refuse to divulge personal or financial information over the phone. Any suspicious calls should be immediately verified by contacting the relevant institution, bank, law enforcement agency, using independently confirmed contact details. Prior to transferring any funds, consultation with a trusted family member or friend is crucial. Online scams. These scams frequently involve fraudulent emails mimicking legitimate banking institutions, urging recipients to click embedded links and surrender login credentials. Social media platforms are also exploited, with perpetrators impersonating acquaintances to solicit loans or promote fraudulent investment opportunities. High-yield investment schemes, often masking sophisticated Ponzi schemes, are frequently advertised online, preying on the desire for financial gain. Countermeasures against online scams include exercising extreme caution when encountering unfamiliar links within emails or messages. Thorough verification of email addresses and social media accounts is paramount before engaging in any interaction. Furthermore, investments should only be pursued after meticulous due diligence and verification of the legitimacy of the involved parties and programs. In-person scams. These scams often involve individuals posing as utility workers, gaining entry under the guise of routine inspections, but ultimately intending theft. Aggressive door-to-door sales tactics, exploiting the trust and vulnerability of the elderly, frequently involve the sale of substandard goods at exorbitant prices. Another common tactic involves feigning distress, such as a simulated vehicle breakdown, to exploit the compassion of elderly individuals. To protect against in-person scams, it is imperative to always request identification from individuals seeking entry to the home. Purchasing goods or signing contracts with unfamiliar individuals should be strictly avoided. In situations of uncertainty or suspicion, contacting neighbors or family members for verification is strongly recommended. Maintaining a heightened awareness of suspicious activity and refusing to engage with unsolicited visitors are vital preventative measures. Why are many elderly individuals susceptible to scams? Key factors include unfamiliarity with evolving fraudulent schemes due to rapid technological advancements, a diminished capacity for resistance stemming from inherent trust and naivete, and heightened vulnerability to fear and loneliness, leading to impulsive compliance with fraudulent demands. Effective countermeasures involve proactive education on emerging scam tactics, establishing a reliable support network for consultation prior to financial transactions, and consistently adhering to the principle of verifying information and refusing to disclose personal data or transfer funds without independent verification. 4. Preventing falls within the home. Preventing falls in the elderly is paramount due to the significant health risks associated with them. The elderly population is particularly vulnerable to falls owing to a confluence of factors, including age-related physiological changes. These include weakened musculoskeletal systems, resulting in decreased bone density and slower reflexes, impaired balance and coordination, leading to instability during ambulation, and hazardous home environments characterized by inadequate lighting, tripping hazards, and unsuitable assistive devices. The consequences of falls can be devastating. Falls frequently result in fractures, particularly of the hip, spine, and wrist, necessitating extensive medical intervention and prolonged rehabilitation. Furthermore, head injuries resulting from falls pose a serious threat, potentially leading to traumatic brain injuries, intracranial hemorrhages, and even stroke. Beyond the immediate physical trauma, falls can have profound and lasting effects on an individual's overall health and well-being. A fall can trigger a cascade of negative consequences, including decreased mobility, loss of confidence, social isolation, and accelerated physical decline, ultimately impacting quality of life and increasing the risk of further falls. The psychological impact of a fall, including fear of falling, can significantly restrict activity levels, further exacerbating physical frailty. However, it is crucial to emphasize that falls are largely preventable. Through proactive measures and strategic environmental modifications, the risk of falls can be substantially mitigated. Implementing simple yet effective adjustments within the home environment, such as improved lighting, removal of tripping hazards, installation of grab bars, and the use of appropriate assistive devices, can significantly reduce the likelihood of falls. Regular exercise programs focusing on balance, strength, and flexibility, coupled with appropriate medical management of underlying health conditions, are also essential components of a comprehensive fall prevention strategy. A proactive and multifaceted approach to fall prevention is not merely advisable, it is a critical necessity for safeguarding the health and independence of the elderly. Unsafe housing conditions present significant fall risks for the elderly. Slippery floors, resulting from polished tiles or standing water, pose a serious hazard. Loose rugs create tripping hazards. High steps impede mobility, particularly for those with joint problems. Obstructions such as electrical cords and furniture and walkways hinder safe passage. Inadequate lighting, especially in stairwells, bathrooms, and hallways, compromises visibility. Furthermore, individual health issues exacerbate these risks. Impaired vision limits the ability to detect obstacles. Loss of balance increases the likelihood of falls, especially when rising quickly. Muscle weakness compromises the ability to support one's weight. Finally, medication side effects, such as drowsiness or dizziness, further elevate the risk of falls. Enhance home safety. 1. Prevent slips and falls. Utilize anti-slip mats in bathrooms and kitchens. Immediately dry wet floors. Wear shoes with non-slip soles. Avoid socks on slippery surfaces. 2. Optimize furniture placement. Clear walkways of clutter and electrical cords. Store frequently used items within easy reach, avoiding excessive reaching or bending. Use chairs with armrests to facilitate rising. 3. Install handrails. Install secure handrails on staircases, in bathrooms, and kitchens to aid mobility. Handrails must be sturdy and at an appropriate height. 4. Improve lighting. Add lighting to hallways, staircases, and bathrooms. Use night lights for nighttime navigation. Improve personal health. 1. Strengthen physical fitness. Engage in gentle exercise to improve muscle strength and balance. Supplement with calcium and vitamin D for bone health. 2. Regularly check vision. Wear corrective lenses to prevent falls due to impaired vision. Undergo regular eye examinations for early detection of cataracts and macular degeneration. 3. Review medications. Consult a physician regarding potential side effects of medications that may cause dizziness or imbalance. Refrain from consuming sedatives or alcohol before ambulating. 5. Maintain consistent social engagement. Humans are inherently social creatures, and the maintenance of robust social connections demonstrably contributes to several key aspects of well-being. These benefits include, but are not limited to, the experience of love, belonging, and mutual support, fostering emotional resilience and mitigating the risk of depression and anxiety. Furthermore, strong social ties are correlated with enhanced cognitive function, improved memory, and a reduced likelihood of developing neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. Extensive scientific research consistently supports the assertion that individuals with active and fulfilling social lives tend to experience increased longevity and improved overall physical health. Conversely, a lack of social connection presents significant risk to both mental and physical health. Social isolation is strongly associated with increased rates of depression, anxiety, and feelings of loneliness. This isolation can lead to a diminished sense of purpose, accelerating physical decline and increasing vulnerability to a range of serious health conditions. Studies have established a clear link between social isolation and an elevated risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and cognitive impairment. In conclusion, the cultivation and preservation of meaningful social connections are not merely conducive to a happier life, they are essential for optimal mental and physical health. The evidence overwhelmingly supports the assertion that robust social engagement is a critical determinant of well-being and longevity. Objectively, limited time constraints imposed by children's commitments result in infrequent communication and visits. Pre-existing social connections have diminished due to geographical relocation or the passage of time. Furthermore, a lack of familiarity with contemporary communication technologies, including mobile devices and social media platforms, presents a significant barrier to maintaining contact. Physical limitations stemming from health concerns further restrict opportunities for social interaction. Subjectively, a reluctance to impose upon others, coupled with self-consciousness regarding age and declining health, contributes to social isolation. An introverted disposition and a reticence to share personal experiences with others exacerbate this condition. Maintaining strong family relationships requires proactive engagement. Establish a daily communication routine, including regular phone calls and video chats with grandchildren to stay updated on their lives. Proactively initiate family gatherings, such as shared meals and weekend outings. Actively participate in family activities, collaborating on tasks like cooking, childcare, and travel. Organize regular family reunions to foster stronger bonds. Building and maintaining connections with friends and neighbors necessitates deliberate effort. Join clubs and groups catering to shared interests, such as those focused on health and wellness, recreational activities, intellectual pursuits, or community service. Cultivate regular social interactions, such as morning coffee dates or shared exercise routines with friends. Extend invitations to friends to visit and actively maintain contact through regular check-ins and visits. Leveraging technology is crucial for staying connected in the modern world. Master the use of smartphones and social media platforms to communicate with loved ones. Utilize messaging and video calls to maintain regular contact with family and friends. Engage with online communities centered around shared hobbies and interests and actively participate in online forums and groups designed for senior citizens. Contributing to the wider community enriches life and fosters a sense of purpose. Volunteer and actively support community initiatives through participation in charitable organizations and assistance to those in need. Share valuable life experiences and wisdom with younger generations. Continuously seek opportunities for personal growth by exploring new skills and hobbies, such as artistic pursuits or enrolling in free skill-building courses designed for seniors. Living alone in one's senior years does not necessitate a life of peril or solitude. By implementing these 5 straightforward strategies, individuals can cultivate a more independent, secure, and fulfilling existence. This proactive approach emphasizes personal agency and empowerment, directly countering the common misconceptions surrounding aging alone. The strategies, detailed in the accompanying video, address key areas such as maintaining physical and mental well-being, fostering social connections, and ensuring personal safety. The importance of proactive health management, including regular checkups and adherence to prescribed medication regimens, cannot be overstated. Furthermore, cultivating a robust support network, encompassing family, friends, and community resources, is crucial for mitigating feelings of isolation and providing readily available assistance when needed. Technological advancements also play a significant role in enhancing safety and convenience, offering readily accessible communication tools and emergency response systems. Finally, maintaining a proactive approach to personal finances and legal planning ensures long-term security and peace of mind. We encourage viewers to consider which strategy resonates most strongly with their individual circumstances and to actively engage in the implementation of these practical solutions. We welcome your comments and insights, particularly regarding additional strategies or personal experiences that contribute to successful aging. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for continued access to valuable content designed to empower individuals to thrive during their senior years. We look forward to engaging with you in our next video.